Dale's got me laughing early here today. Good morning, everybody. It's Tuesday. Of course, you're watching the main event, and I'm your humble host, Stephen McCollum, and I just don't know what I'm going to do with my life today. I got two legends surrounding me here. One of them is a 17-year NFL veteran, three-time Super Bowl champion for your Dallas Cowboys, and that's Dale Hillistrate here, everybody.
You know how you become a legend, Steve?
Do it for a long time?
When you're becoming a legend.
Do it for a long time?
No, when you become a legend is when your grandson has show and tell.
Oh.
And in kindergarten, and you're invited to class, and you're going to be the main subject of his show and tell.
Is it about the Cowboys or just Grandpa? Or just Pop?
It's about Papa.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they don't care that you were a Cowboy and you have Super Bowl wins. And
you know what? Even Hillary's like, I'm so excited when Grant gets to be in first, second, third grade, and kids actually know what NFL is and all that. Right now, they don't.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
No, you know how you become a legend, Dale, if I may toot my own horn? When you get invited to career day and you don't even have a kid at the school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that me. I remember I got shooed away the first year, and then last year they made a special time for me to come in. Yeah, that's when you become a legend. Of course, the other legend I'm talking about, not me, not Dale Hillistrate. He'll be here in just a little bit. Bruce Cooper joining us on Tuesdays. Trash talk has already started, I hear, via text message last night. It's going to be fun.
Bruce and I used to go at it a little bit on Channel 12, and he actually sat in for you one day, and it was kind of boring because we almost agreed on just about everything.
I turned that show off because I was like, they agree. I'm off. I'm out of here. And I was watching it. But, yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to it. I tried to go back and find some of those old shows. Was it the Killer D's?
Yeah.
You know, and then Bruce Cooper, of course,
hosted they throw them in the trash?
I couldn't find them. I couldn't find them anywhere.
Huh.
They're washed away out there.
I bet you Bruce probably has a few copies.
No,
that's probably the highlight of his career.
Oh, gee. Well, that was because Minucci was on there sometimes.
I got a question for you.
Yes. Change subject, time change.
I got a question for you. Can you please tell me the work schedule of people in Phoenix?
Was it a tough day coming in today for you?
Yesterday, just zip down the 51, no problems, no traffic.
A Monday? Okay.
Easy going.
Yeah.
Today, about twice as long. So
accident?
No accident.
No, yeah.
So do people work like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday? Is it a 3-day work week?
Maybe it's that hybrid schedule where they get Mondays and Fridays to work from home, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, they got to go to the office.
Jeez,
I noticed it too today, even on US 60. Because today I took 60 into the 143 and then cut up. I noticed too there's a lot more traffic than normal.
Yesterday?
No, today.
Okay.
Like it was all backed up. And I go in the carpool lane, you know, because, you know, I'm special. I have one of those cloud plates. Yeah. Speaking of special.
Just don't forget to charge it and be stuck in the carpool lane, because then you'll.
So, but no, I noticed that today too. I was like, what in the world?
Yeah.
What's happening out there? I don't know. It's weird. I don't get it either. It must be like people don't work in the office certain days a week or something.
Yeah, it's starting to become a pattern where Mondays, Fridays, pretty smooth.
Now that school's back in, right?
Yeah. It's definitely up the traffic.
Yeah, yesterday I just flew right down the freeway like nobody was there. Today, actually, the carpool lane backed up at one point, which is rare unless there's an accident. And I get it, man. You're supposed to have two people in the carpool lane. I get it. But, man, when that cop pulls that one car over that has one person in there and it just slows everything down, it's infuriating.
That's a pretty expensive ticket, too.
Yes. $300, $400, yeah. Is it worth it?
I always remember.
Is it worth it? We should talk to Riley about that. Riley, is it worth it?
Whenever anybody talks about this, Kevin Ray, the guy who I did high school games with.
Suns guy?
Yeah. He was on his way to a high school game one night and he just zipping along, whatever, the 101, and all of a sudden traffic was a dead stop.
Yeah.
And so he had to slam on the brakes, and he slid over into the carpool lane. And right then there was a cop.
Yeah. And he saw him do it, but he's like, I'm giving him a ticket.
And they gave him a ticket anyway. It's like, sir, I just did. Should I have ran into the back of the car?
And Kevin Ray's nice, too. So he was probably like, yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Wasn't like Meanie Dale over here and argued with him the whole time.
Thank you, sir. You want to give me another ticket?
Robert chimes in at TME Sports. So Bruce will be coming in around 8:30 on Tuesdays here, but at TME Sports Show, of course, 623-252-6670 is the text line as well. Robert says, didn't notice any traffic issues this morning. Took all of 20 seconds to walk into my office. You didn't trip over the stairs or the dog, did you, Robert? Works from home.
Or your Wheaties.
I'm assuming, yeah, he's like breakfast. My order took too long at breakfast. Sorry I'm late to clock in today. Geez. So a couple interesting things happening here we'll hit on till Bruce gets here as well. I'm looking forward.
Actually, before we get to sports, I ask you one question.
Yeah.
So in the mail yesterday, I check it.
Uh-oh.
I get a photo radar ticket.
Oh, throw it away. It's no good unless they serve you.
I would rather have somebody else's opinion other than you, anti-government, anti-rule.
Seriously. No, seriously. They send those to you hoping that you just pay it. They're not valid unless you get served by somebody.
Yeah, but I don't want Brooke to be the one that's being at home when I get served.
No, they got to serve you, I think. I don't think it works for her in that instance. Why not? You don't want her to know about it? Well, just pay it then.
I'm just asking.
Here's the thing. I've gotten several of those over the years, especially back in the day when they have them. Never once got served. But I'm really good at people calling my name in public, and I just keep walking. You never turn and look because you never know. They're going to hand you papers or something. Went through a messy divorce.
So in other words, just break the law.
It's not breaking the law. They're breaking the law by sending you something in the mail. Second of all, that's what you get for living in Paradise Valley with those humps, and they just have those vans still everywhere. It's the only city that has the vans on the side of the road.
It's not even vans anymore. Sometimes they're in cactuses.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's one thing I hate about driving the backside of the mountain there is like, I got to remember 35 is 35 because they have these stupid vehicles sitting on the side of the road.
My dad used to say, when it says 35, Steve, that's the limit. That's not a suggestion.
The actual real limit is reasonable and prudent.
Boy, oh boy, I don't know how that's going to stand up in a court of law.
Okay, here's my big question. How fast were you going?
I think it was 56 and a 45.
That's about right. People generally go about 10 over.
Yeah.
Was it that stretch I'm talking about? By the resorts and everything?
I think it was actually on Tatum Road, yeah.
Yeah, so right there. Yeah. You got to be careful up there, man. They're just sitting on the side of the road, and they hide them behind those trees that hang out over, those illegal trees hanging out over the street and the sidewalk and everything, and they're sitting behind there. You got to pay attention to that.
Can I please have somebody else's opinion besides
Yeah,
Steve's?
chime in, everybody. Tell Dale that I'm correct. They got to serve you in order to do it. Yeah. They're not going to spend the time nor money to serve you because enough people pay them just by mailing them in. Worst case, they serve you, and then you just cut the check and send it in. Never been served a day in my life. I also don't answer my front door, so if they come to the door, they're just, they just waste their time. That's beautiful. Love wasting process servers' times. It's amazing.
But what would happen is it would be Brooke will be at home.
Yeah.
She'll answer the door.
Oh, let me get my checkbook real quick. What? You want to haul him away? Here he is. Go haul him away now. This is where he's at right now.
I can get rid of him.
Those I don't know if they can serve. Like a normal one, if you're just at home, they can hand it to an adult at the house.
Right.
And stuff like that. So even like Ethan can get a serving. If somebody walks up to my house and goes to serve, they can give it to Ethan now, even though he's only 17. Like there's a certain age where you can start doing it. But Ireland, no, we can contest it if it's 14. Be like, I never got it. And then they're like, well, how do you know about it if you never got it? Ask me how I know that story. But
you have been served.
What are they going to do? Went through a pretty nasty breakup there for a while. It was like every day.
Okay.
Yeah. I have an investment company that people like to do stuff like that for investment companies and things like that. At least back in the day, they used to do it all the time. Oh, it's beautiful. HOAs would be like, that's why I'm on my HOA board. I got tired of HOAs pulling crap with rental houses and everything. So I fought the system. I fought the law and the Law won, to be honest.
Yeah, I was
with
gonna
you,
say.
yeah. That song ain't wrong, right? You just spent all your money fighting it to lose,
Yeah.
just crumble it up, throw it away,
Okay.
forget about it. What's the worst case? I'll bail you out. Just write down my number on your arm. I'll bail you out. Nobody will know. Then I'll drop you off at the house and be like, sorry, guys, I had a bar room for the afternoon. Nobody would even know. 2 a.m. Be like, sorry, guys, I had a bar room. Brooke, I apologize. Whole family sitting around wondering where Dale is, where Pop's at. He just disappeared. And I'll be like, sorry, I had a bar room. You won't even know. I'll take the blame. He had to bail me out. I'll take the blame. I'll even say I bailed me out. I'll be on the news for you saying I got bailed out. Dale had to bail me out. We'll be on the news. It'll be fun. Let's do it. Let's try it.
So is this Bills fan? Is this a parody account or no?
I don't know. I couldn't figure it out. So if you don't know what we're talking about, I saw yesterday. That's why I was laughing coming onto the show. The Bills fan that pushed, was it Derrick Henry? Oh no, it was somebody else with the Ravens, and then Lamar Jackson pushed the guy back.
Yeah.
And I saw on Twitter a guy saying he was apologizing to himself, the fan base, etc. But he had a neck brace on, and I just kind of scrolled through it like, he's got a neck brace on. This is a joke, right? And I just scrolled through it. I didn't think twice about it. And then you brought it up today, and you think it's real. Is this a real video? I don't have it, but
It says the site I saw it on, ML Football, your home for everything.
That
football.
site's questionable.
Is it credentialed in media?
Yeah,
Okay.
they can be questionable.
Okay.
They put fake stuff out there all the time, and stuff like that. But yeah, he had a neck brace on. I was fine with it until I saw the neck brace. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's true or not, kind of funny.
He has been indefinitely banned from Bills and NFL stadiums per a team official. He was ejected after shoving him as well. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Especially because, I see another one here. A guy recorded this different site than that other one there. A guy recorded it on his television. Yeah. So that looks to be real. I hope he's really hurt, to be honest with you.
Well, but he's wearing a neck brace so he can sue.
Yes. Well, he's apologizing like heck here in this video. He's just more apologizing because he has front row seats that he doesn't have anymore. He's been banned now. He's probably pissed. He's probably like that Diamondbacks guy. He's going to make a run, He's going to make a run now and go show up at the Giants games or whatever. The guy that catches all the outfield stuff and everything. It's probably going to be him.
Oh.
Yeah. Robert sends in the meme of Seinfeld, the lawyer on there. It's an infringement on your emotional whatever. Preposterous. It's hilarious. Hey, this is an interesting story here, and I'm fascinated by what's going down in Texas, Dale. Fascinated by this. Arch Manning.
We're talking about Dallas.
Arch
We're talking
Manning.
about Arch. We're talking about
Texas University.
Texas State coming in here to beat some ASU rear end.
ASU's favored like 14.5 in this game.
They were probably favored that much last year.
Nah. Dale's on the negativity train.
Yeah.
So I've seen a lot of people separately. I've seen a lot of people saying that was the right play call at the end of the game. Cover 0. That was the right play call. It just didn't work out because the guy tripped going in, and then and everything. And then the quarterback. No, that's what makes it a wrong play call. Is because if something goes wrong in the time, but he could have sacked him, but he didn't. That's what makes it the wrong play call. Is something went wrong, which happens on a football field, and it turned into a game-winning touchdown. That by itself tells you that isn't the play call to call in that situation. And somebody agrees with me on this, Dale. Somebody important agrees with me on this stand. But I've seen all these people yesterday kind of defending the play call, and I don't get it. Yeah, but if he wouldn't have tripped running in, if the cornerbacks had figured it out and they got confused, but if they would have figured it out, it would have been a great defensive play call. Yeah, if my mother had a wang, she'd be my uncle. Who cares?
Actually, she'd be your dad.
Oh, that's a good point. I don't get how people are defending it. But anyway, besides that point, Arch Manning took a beating in that Ohio State game, started throwing the ball sidearm. He did it the other game, too. And everybody's like, he's back. He's back as they played, Southern Catholic, Southern Mississippi State, Texas State College University last weekend and blew him out. And everybody's like, Arch Manning's back. It cracks me up. But there's question marks about his shoulder.
I just started hearing about it on Saturday, and then I saw a couple videos of him definitely like when I swim a golf club and my back's hurting, wincing.
Yeah. So here's Sark yesterday. Now, in Sark's defense, you deny this till the cows come home. He does not, because you know what's going to happen. Every defensive team is going to be hitting him in that shoulder. Even if he releases the ball, they're going to be aiming for that shoulder to him. You deny this till the world ends, right? But what are you doing for the kid? So yesterday, Steve Sarkisian, who I am not a fan of, but everything out there, I do not like Steve Sarkisian. I think he's a horrible human being. I think maybe he's got his act together, but congratulations. Doesn't forgive you for what you did at Washington and USC back in the day around college kids. Just disgusting human being in my eyes. And then he goes to Texas and thinks he's all that, and he can't win the big one. Steve Sarkisian yesterday talking about Arch Manning, and I left the question in. Check this out.
Arch Manning seemed to be having some throwing pains by the
According to
fourth
who?
quarter. Arch?
Arch said that to you?
No.
Oh, according to who?
It just looked like he was.
He doesn't have any.
Is there an explanation to why it looked like that?
I don't know. I've never filmed any of you guys when you're using the bathroom, so I don't know what faces you make when you're doing that.
Sark, you
You see how proud he was of that response? Eating grin there. I'm clever. You guys wish you could be on my clever level. Did you see his face though when he goes, Arch told you that? Because I think if that guy would have said Arch told us that, he would have gotten up and gone and beaten Arch some more. His other shoulder would have been hurt if he would have said that publicly. Yeah. But that's a terrible deflection. That's terrible gaslighting. And that tells me Arch has a serious shoulder problem.
Well, in his mind, he left no doubt that he doesn't have a shoulder problem.
Well, yeah. Here's Arch Manning throwing the football on Saturday. Here's one of the clips right here that if you didn't see him, here's one of them. Quarter shoulder, that's not his throwing motion normally. Quarter shoulder, and look at the grimace with nobody touching him. Look at that. And then look where that ball goes, short hops, which tells you what? No power, dead shoulder on top of it. Because his form steps into it, 3/4 it into the ground, and then that facial expression on top of it. Arch Manning has a serious problem, and if it's that bad, why are you playing him?
Especially in a game like that. It's interesting because when I saw the grimace, and sometimes hey, if there's somebody in your face or your arm gets caught or whatever,
that makes sense.
But there was nobody around him.
Yeah,
clean
all
pocket, and like you said, step into it. And if you're going to throw it into the ground, what's that, 10-yard crossing route?
Yeah, that's a routine throw he does in his sleep. That's fine if he's got an injury, but why play him? Why play him in that game?
Well, especially that game.
I get if it's Texas A&M. I get if it's Tennessee and you need the win or whatever. You put him out there, against the kid's wishes. But in that game, so he's going to deny it to the end. But I'm loving this. I'm loving this kind of a story that's happening here on the Texas side.
It's amazing because now Arch Manning is a second guy along with myself that doesn't like the crystal clear TV cameras. I like better when it's a little fuzzy.
Because back in the 90s, we wouldn't have picked up that grimace.
Yeah, you wouldn't have.
It's an amazing thing to watch, and it'll die down going into the weekend because lack of press conferences and things like that. But it's something to watch going forward.
People keep an eye on it, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that guy right there recorded that off his television because he noticed that on Saturday.
Right.
That's kind of how it started getting out there. And, remember that famous last throw where he threw behind Wingo in that Ohio State game where if he would have hit him, where he threw it sidearm and everybody was like, what are you doing? Well, his shoulder probably hurt him when he threw it at that point as well. I mean, Texas has another bad team this weekend. So, I don't know. But I don't get as a coach in a game like that, why you're not sitting him down, or putting him out there so he doesn't look injured, and then be like, you know what, we're gonna see what our backup can do in this game. We're gonna go up by 14, and then we're gonna put our backup, and you play it off that way, right?
Yeah, they have
UTEP, this weekend. So in Austin, Texas, 41.5-point favorites, by the way, Texas, with Arch Manning, Heisman favorite again, Arch Manning after last weekend. Who did they play last week? Bethune-Cook, somebody ridiculous like that. Then we already talked about it.
Come on, they played San Jose State.
That's right, Miami or somebody played Bethune-Cook or something. Then I talked about it earlier. All these people yesterday coming out and kind of defending, not just yesterday, I saw some from the weekend as well that have come back up to things. And everybody's like, oh, it's the problem wasn't the cover zero call. The problem wasn't that. And they show all the reasons why it was the right call. It just wasn't executed. And I contend it's not the right call if it's not executed. And you lose a touchdown. You should have safety valves out there to do it, right? So the guy gets tripped or rushing. He would have sacked him. 100% he would have got to him and hit him, right? But he got tripped up. Well, that's strike number one. Cornerbacks got confused and allowed the fastest guy in the field to run down the field. And then people are still like, right play call, bad execution. Dale, is that a thing? You've been in locker rooms for a long time. Is that a thing? Right play call, bad execution.
Oh, you can obviously make a case for certain plays. And again, it's one of those things where you sit there and go, when you watch the Cardinals on Sunday, and they really didn't bring a whole lot of pressure. New Orleans had a chance at the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the right play call? Well, guess what? If the New Orleans tight end catches the ball, probably not the right strategy going in.
It's just, and I get it, right? I mean, it's just we've lost 2 games now. Peach Bowl, and now the other night, based off of a cover zero play call and getting burned in the backfield. And I'm not putting the blame on the cornerbacks. Yes, they have a job to do and things like that, but at the same time, that's why it's football. The other guy gets paid too, especially nowadays, right? Running down the field and type of stuff. But you know who agrees with me on this? This is what cracks me up. For everybody out there saying it was the right play call, just bad execution. It was the right play call. I'd like to see him be more aggressive. Well, you got a problem. Kenny Dillingham, Chris Cartman put this out on Twitter yesterday on X.
Oh, I was wondering who you scour the tapes for. Is it going to be like Dan Orlovsky? Or...
Chris Cartman puts this out. And I'm not saying Chris Cartman's right because he just repeated what he said. Kenny Dillingham came out and said yesterday he'd prefer to have the defensive play calls back on all 3 of Mississippi State's touchdowns, specifically mentioning he'd rather have been in a cover 2. So for the people out there, media-wise and fans going, it was the right call, just bad execution, your head coach disagrees with you, and it should be a cover 2.
But now, would he have said that if they sacked the quarterback?
But see, that's where this is a fine line.
Yeah.
If he sacked the quarterback, obviously it's the way. The problem, it's risk-reward, though, right? Yeah. This is what I'm arguing. Yes, if he would have got to him and sacked him or disrupted that throw, great play call.
Right.
If the cornerbacks wouldn't have gotten confused and played great defense, knocked the ball down, great play call. That's the problem with cover zero, though.
There's no room for error.
No. You get to that quarterback, it's like an all-out blitz. You get to that quarterback, or else you are screwed on the backside. There's no safety valve. If you're in cover 2, that cornerback gets beat, the safety's over there rolling over, so at least maybe he catches it, but then it's not a touchdown. You tackle him at that point. That's my argument on that side is that's why it's not the right play call in that situation. You needed to keep them out of the end zone, and you did the one play call that if something goes wrong, and in this case 2 things go wrong, they ended up where you don't want them to be at. And that's what makes it the wrong play call in that situation. And the other thing that makes it wrong, 2 games now. You should have won, and you've lost because of that defensive play call.
Well, I'd push back a little bit on the Texas game. I think the officials helped out in that one, too.
Oh, Dale blaming the officials.
I think they helped out.
So Kenny Dillingham, of course, agrees with that take on it, cover 2. And a lot of fans, in fairness, was saying, what are you doing in that cover 0? My favorite thing is, and I'm not knocking fans for saying this, but I mean, because they don't, fans don't necessarily know what a cover 2 is or whatever, but fans notice, like, Why are they one-on-one? Why is the cornerback one-on-one with the fastest guy out there? They express them in those ways. And that's what I love about this sport, man, is, yeah, they didn't know it was cover zero. They didn't know about the blitz and all of that stuff, but they picked up instantly. Why is that guy running open down the middle of the field like that?
Right.
Then Kenny Dillingham yesterday talking about the end of the game. Let's check out Kenny Dillingham. This is a video here. Kenny Dillingham talking about the end of the game.
So like 3rd and 8, 40 seconds, no timeouts, 1 sack wins the game. So if we have a call that can sack them, you win, right? They've already driven the ball about 25 yards. They just had a drop in the drive, which should have put them on about the plus 48, which is 8 to 10 yards away from field goal range for their kicker, who's good. You don't want to go into overtime versus that team because you're going to get the ball on the side and it's going to be cowbell and loud. You're probably going to eventually get a false start at that point. It's harder to play a game on the road in OT in that environment. So you're not playing to try to hold them to 3. You're playing to win. So if you have a call that wins the game, you call it. We called it. It didn't work. You lose. Were we expecting, should that call have given up a touchdown? We were not expecting it to give up a touchdown. Were we expecting it could give up quick game that could gain 15 yards? Yeah, that would have sucked. Were we expecting it to give up a touchdown? Definitely not. We were actually calling it for them to take a shot. That call was for a deeper progressional route, which they ran, which, but when it doesn't work, it sucks. It's not nearly as fun as when it works.
To me, that makes a lot of sense.
It makes sense. But again, so that's kind of the mindset of the coaches in that scenario.
See, it's the same thing to me as when you have an ultra-aggressive coach, whether it's Dan Campbell in Detroit or Kenny Dillingham, going forward on 4th and 1, 4th and 2. When it works, hey, I love the aggressiveness. I love the way that we take chances. And but if it doesn't, then you go, well, why don't we just punt it away?
That's my favorite thing to do. Be like, I wouldn't go for that, and then they make it, and I go, great play call. That was excellent. And I didn't doubt you for a second. That's like my favorite thing to do. But no, but that's what. But this is my argument that's what makes the kicking the field goal instead of going for it on the 4th down, because you went conservative in that moment, and then he went aggressive at the end of the game, and it didn't work out. That happens in football. But I would just argue you got to have a safety valve back, because he even said it. Like, we're willing to give up 15 yards on that play, not a touchdown. We're willing to give 50 play. But at the same time, you got to go, what's worst case scenario here in this situation? And in this case, worst case scenario is the guy gets behind you and scores a game-winning touchdown. So you got to factor those things in. We saw it with the Cardinals, as well. Trouble's here, everybody. Go on in. Sit down.
I mean, Bruce, he feels like he's in Channel 12. He just walks in. He's on camera.
I know. Go on in.
Look at this. Look at this. Young whippersnapper.
I'm going to get him in here anyway.
I was stuck. I was either going to walk behind Dale or in front of
Oh,
Dale.
you could have walked around.
I think it's always best to walk in front of Dale. If you know what I mean?
Block me from the screen.
We'll get the camera fixed here and everything. But we're just talking a little ASU talk. So I'm glad perfect timing coming in. Hey, guys, come fix the camera.
Hey, when you slide in, I can
know, that's right.
I can slide in and hang out.
There you go. You can sign touch loud.
Hey, Dale doesn't like me that way, Bruce. He likes to stay far away from me and everything. So, but we're just talking ASU. We're getting more into it here. But since you came in,
I'd rather talk SMU and Baylor. To be honest with you.
We can talk about both of them. Fair.
Did you watch that game?
I did. I did.
Just so you know, Steve, this man sitting to your left still owes me about 4 steak dinners.
No. He's retired now, Dale. He can't do that.
He's got more money coming in from Channel 12 retirement than you can shake his stick at. Yeah, because he obviously an ASU guy, went to ASU, ASU homer. Breaks his heart when they lose, but he picked them to win the Pac-12 like 4 straight years, and that's what him and I were hanging out.
Well, that's one thing I'm going to bring up, Dale. He picked the Cardinals last year to win the division and fight with the Niners on that.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this, Bruce. And I said it, I think you were probably at the banquet when we're giving away my dad's scholarship, and Dillingham and Charlie Reagle were there.
Right, I was there.
I've become an ASU fan. After 40 years.
He's a big Kenny Dillingham fan. That's what it took. Kenny Dillingham to bring Dale on over to the good side.
Yeah, and I think you know the story, then we can go wherever Steve wants to take it. But Frank Kush couldn't put a 3-cent stamp on an envelope to recruit me. And so I held it against ASU for 40 years. And now Kenny Dillingham, Regal, Mons, those guys are over there. And I'm a fan. So that's what makes it disappointing.
Do you think Kenny Dillingham would have recruited you?
Yes. He knows talent, Steve. He knows talent.
What do you think on that, Bruce?
I think Dale would have been passed over.
Yeah. Only good enough to play at SMU, you know?
That's great.
Yeah.
But so, what do you before we take our break here, what do you do with yourself nowadays? Retired? I know you're traveling, seeing your family, and all that stuff. But what are you doing like on a Saturday? Are you just watching college football all day long?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely. All day. And matter of fact, I have to admit I did enjoy an afternoon game. There was a certain game that I was watching that they're called the ponies, the Cowboys. You know the
Mustangs.
the Mustangs. You know
Pony Express.
They had a 2-touchdown lead. And I said, "Oh my gosh! I know someone's happy in North Scottsdale."
Baylor didn't have the lead until until second overtime, right? When they won it, and they kicked it.
It was a beautiful, and that made my Saturday.
Wow.
In Gerald J. Ford Stadium or whatever it is. Yeah.
There you go. Well, hey, unfortunately, SMU and ASU had great seasons last year. Surprisingly great seasons. And now they're both 1-1.
Yeah, and look, we can get more into ASU
Yeah.
after the break if you want to, but yeah, I was very disappointed. Very disappointed with the Sun Devils.
Well, that's obviously something I want to talk about with you. Cardinals as well over the weekend. We have a bunch of NFL stuff, and my prediction on Niners being injured is coming true after week 1.
Yeah.
It didn't take long for Kittle, did it?
Of course. Do you follow high school football still
I do.
closely?
I do.
All right. Do you have an inside source? What's going on with Tate Reynolds? That's what I need to know from you.
Well, let me tell you something. I think Tate Reynolds is absolutely the most talented quarterback in the state. I
Really?
mean, he's
Right.
he's second to none.
Queen Creek High School's
absolutely.
football.
I'll have to admit that I'm very disappointed that he's going to Clemson. I think that highly of the kid. You know,
He's going for baseball.
Clearly. Well, let me tell you something. Clemson doesn't have necessarily a better baseball program than Arizona State
Okay.
traditionally, no doubt about that. But look, I'm all about the kid making his own choice. I'm just disappointed from a personal standpoint because I think he's that good.
Right.
He's that talented. I like to see great talented kids in state, stay in state.
Oh, of course.
But I understand why he wants to live. I mean, leave. I've talked to a lot of kids that are in a similar situation. They grew up in Arizona. It's been their life. They want to get out on their own, and I respect and understand that.
It's
But
getting
I'm
out on your own and not going across the country to do it.
But I'll tell you what. I'm just speaking from a personal standpoint, but from from his standpoint, I mean, you got to be ecstatic. I mean, the kid is a highly celebrated, highly recruited quarterback. I mean, you talk about a dual threat at quarterback position. That's him, and again, he's a very accomplished baseball player. So he's a 2-sport star, something Dale Hellestree knows nothing about.
Yeah, no, I went to the Queen Creek game because my kids go to there, and I went to that game, and then he didn't play I'm assuming a knee injury, but nobody knows. Nobody's saying what it is last weekend and everything. I'm probably going to go this weekend too. For another senior thing for my kids and everything, and I'm like, man, I'm gonna miss him twice now. What is
Well,
going
he had
on?
a big brace on his
Yeah,
leg.
it was one, and it didn't bend at all. So that tells me it's a serious knee injury. But I don't. Everybody was mum about it there in the stand. That's for sure. So.
He's a difference maker. I mean, without him, I mean, the Bulldogs are pretty much maybe an average team at best.
He's a prototypical. He looks like, and I've never seen him play in person, but he looks like a prototypical quarterback.
Oh, he's
In
a
the old days.
very athletic kid. I mean, he can run as well as he can throw the ball. I mean, and the thing I love about him is his accuracy on the move. I mean, you can flush him out of the pocket. He can roll right, scramble back left, and find someone and pick him out on the move and deliver accurately. Or he could just keep it and make he could turn a 15-yard loss into an 85-yard touchdown.
So who would you take, Levitt, Manning, or Tate Reynolds?
Well, I tell you what. I do love the heart of Sam Levitt, no doubt about it. But I tell you what, the athleticism that I see with Tate Reynolds, I mean, Manning and Levitt aren't in that conversation.
And you said Tate Reynolds,
I
best
did.
quarterback in the state.
Absolutely, there's no question in my mind.
Yeah.
No question in my mind.
And I keep my fingers crossed that it's nothing serious because I am
Yeah,
such a
I'm
proponent.
not rooting for it.
Such a proponent of two sport guys in high school. If you can do 3 sports, do 3. But man, you don't want to see an injury. I don't know if he's a better football or baseball player.
Well, they say baseball. And
Okay.
they say it's not close from
Really?
what I heard that
Okay.
before. yeah.
Well, if that's the case, he's going to be a first round draft pick right out of high school in baseball then, because that kid's a tremendous football player.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's what I've been reading. I mean, he wasn't even on the Clemson's football radar, or he might have been, but he committed baseball first, which also might mean he just likes baseball better and maybe sees, if I had a choice between football and baseball, I might go baseball too. Long term.
Most times you're not in a big knee brace when you're playing baseball.
Exactly. And the paychecks these days, you might want to go there.
Are you trying to say that post football you don't want to walk around and look like Dale Hellestrand?
Right.
We should have a walking contest, Coop and I.
Well, you can play baseball for 19 years. I'm not, football's a rarity to get that far, And old man Calais Campbell did it over the weekend as well.
Isn't it? My goodness.
Yeah, so when we come back, let's get into it with Bruce, of course, joining us on Tuesdays here during the football season. Going to be a fun time. We'll talk about somebody he's seen multiple times, Brock Purdy. The often injured Brock Purdy is what I'm going to start calling him. We'll talk about that and so much more. Come on back. It's the main event with Bruce Cooper. And we're back here, main event Tuesday. He's normally going to be with us till 10 o'clock today. He's got to take off a little bit early. Hey, it's that time of year, man. You
It's
help
that
out
time.
charities. You're retired. Help out. What do they call it? Turkey
Tuesday,
Turkey
yeah,
Tuesday
yeah.
again.
He's the
with ya.
busiest retired guy in the valley. You know what I'm saying? But when your day doesn't start till 9 o'clock, usually.
So he's going to be with us a little today, but you're joining us every Tuesday coming forward. as long
Every
as,
Tuesday. Looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Looking
it's
forward to it.
Going to
Yeah.
be fun.
Yeah, because we already know that we got to we got to team up to bring some sensibility to the show because of someone to our far
The
right.
intelligence level on
Yeah,
the show
absolutely.
just shot through the roof here with Bruce. If you don't know Bruce, a long time, 37 years, I believe, right? Channel 12,
yeah.
sports director at the end there as well. He was the Cam Cox before Cam Cox was Cam Cox. Is that the way
He's
you
the
describe
best
it?
looking.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying for people that watch it today, that was Bruce before.
Yeah,
so.
I'll be teaming up with Cam Cox today. He'll be part of the meeting. We're to shoot a promo for Turkey Tuesday. Of course, that's coming up in November.
Yeah, and we're going to talk to you about that throughout the time as well, and obviously help you promote that out there as well because it's fantastic.
I'm going to
Yeah,
get
Cox.
my one compliment about Bruce Cooper out of the way. It's never happening again.
You mean there is one?
Hey, Bruce and I have done quite a few things together. And I will say this about Bruce. He's the only guy in the Valley that's involved in the media, and you were for a long, long time, that I can't get anybody to say a bad thing about. Everybody loves Bruce Cooper, and in this business, it's hard to do that. You make enemies and things like
Yeah,
that.
oh God, you just say one sports opinion and half the valley hates you.
but Bruce was loved all through his career.
Yeah, I can't say the same about Dale.
No.
I mean, I actually had to come to Dale's defense. Of course, we'll leave that for another day.
Well, you had problems with that organization.
I did too.
as well,
I
so.
did too. No question about it. So I can't give him too much crap about that.
I think everybody has problems with that organization, to be honest with you. But you did Friday Night Lights. You started that up there on Channel 12. If you still follow that, and deep roots into the high school football. Obviously ASU Cardinals as well. So it's going to be fun. And now that you're watching a lot of college football and football over the weekend, it's going to be fun to see. JJ McCarthy. This is what I want to start off.
Oh, wow.
Because it's fresh from last night. I am not a JJ McCarthy fan. I don't think he's going to be good. But that was one heck of a fourth quarter last night. Was it the Bears defense sucking, or was it JJ McCarthy waking up and playing well?
Well, it could be a little bit of both. No, I'll share your sentiments. I was not that overly impressed with J.J. McCarthy at Michigan. And so I'll tell you this, he looked far more athletic than I saw him when he quarterbacked Michigan under Jim Harbaugh. He really did.
In that fourth quarter last night, I
yeah,
agree with you. I was like, who is that kid?
I didn't know he had that in him. And so, look, I think Chicago got to the point to where they're going to try to work the clock in their favor because they had a 2-touchdown advantage, 2-score advantage. And next thing you know, there was a big run by Jordan Mason, and that seemed to really spark the Vikings, and there was no slowing them down at that point. And then Caleb Williams, I thought he got a little bit too ad-libby, if you will, if that's a word. You know, I mean, he
Making his own choices.
yeah.
On the field,
I thought he had opportunities in a short passing game that I've seen Ben Johnson utilize with Detroit Lions
Right.
and Jared Goff. I thought he had opportunities to hit, DJ Moore. Right, and a Doomsday.
he had a big miss on DJ Moore.
Yeah, and so that forced a 3-and-out when they needed to really milk some more clock. So you got the ball right back to Minnesota, and look, all that pressure Chicago was able to put on J.J. McCarthy in the first 3 quarters. I mean, where did it go?
That's what I kind of say was that Chicago going, we've got this game won. We don't, we just have to coast now. Dale, your thoughts?
Well,
You're the Minnesota Vikings fan.
Well, I just picked him to win because I know what's going to happen. Well, what's interesting about J.J. McCarthy, and he got hit in the mouth. I mean, you're down, you're on the road, your first start, and all that stuff, and then you throw a pick 6.
Against, by the way, his favorite team growing up
he
was
grew
the
up
Chicago
in
Bears.
Chicago area, and throws a pick 6. Well, right there's do or die situation, and even Troy talked about it because you see JJ go over to the sideline. He's talking to his offensive line. Hey, let's go, let's pick it up. And Troy's in that situation his rookie year, throwing pick 6s or whatever. He goes, kind of a hollow feeling when you're going over your offensive line and you just threw a pick 6. But to see him respond to that positively, I'm going to give a lot of credit to the coaching staff. I think that head coach is really good.
If he's not the best in the NFL, he's one of the top.
He's really good.
Kevin O'Connell?
Yeah, Kevin O'Connell. He did it last year with Sam Darnold.
Yes, he did.
Did you see it at the end of the game though on that kickoff? The
Yes.
returner caught it and then looked to the sideline and he's telling him to bring it out to waste clock.
Yeah.
No, what other coach does that?
Well, to me that was so weird because as a kickoff returner, you're concentrating on the football, but he caught it and then he looked.
Yes.
And it's such a genius play.
Yeah.
But here's where I said, even watching the game at that point, I said, I don't know that Cairo can get the ball past the inline. I said, so they have to kick the ball out of bounds on the side. That way they'd give up the ball at the 40-yard line, but you still would get that extra timeout you need.
And that was the most important.
Right. But the fact that they allowed them to run it out, I said, well, Ben Johnson just lost the game right there.
Yeah. No, it was great. I just think that J.J. McCarthy, and I told Steve this, and I don't even know who I heard it from some players, that the players love J.J. McCarthy.
Okay.
And
Really?
and they were responding to him. Yeah, I told you that, but you
No, I reacted the same way when you told me that before.
yeah,
I honestly
and so
don't.
that gave me, some uplifting thing of like, hey, this kid's got something. I don't know what it is because I'm like you. It's like, okay, you won the national championship at Michigan, but boy, you had a bunch of first rounders with you and all that.
And they ran the ball a lot.
Yeah. That defense in Michigan was I thought the standout part of the team.
Right.
But again, hats off to JJ because I certainly didn't see in college what he showcased Monday night.
He made some really nice throws. That run that he made,
Yeah.
it's a great play call, and it was executed. Even the tight end downfield blocking, but boy, he turned on the Jets and got in the end zone.
Yeah, he did. And again, even when Chicago was putting the pressure on him, he was able to evade maybe one rusher, a second, but the third would get him. And so even his elusiveness in the pocket, despite the fact that he still got sacked, I was impressed with it. Again, I didn't see that in Michigan.
Yeah,
so
but
I
at the
think
same time, it's still the Bears.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, I think O'Connell is a terrific head coach because Sam Darnold, I mean, here's a guy who admitted to seeing ghosts when he was in New York.
He didn't look good on Sunday with the Seahawks.
No, you put him with the Vikings. I mean, the first 15, 16 games of the season, he looked outstanding.
Until they played the Lions in the last game, and then the playoff
yeah.
one. Then it was like, all right, he's.
But he still won 14. Kyler Murray wins 14 games. I'll live with that.
Dale's right. He won 14 games and looked magnificent. I think he threw 35 touchdown passes, and I'm like, who is this guy?
Right.
And so, obviously, what he's doing with McCarthy is spectacular. And then I noticed that Joshua Dobbs had to go there a couple seasons ago when they started getting some injuries, and we saw Dobbs in the Cardinal country do some pretty electric things early, but he mainly did it with his feet. But I saw Dobbs do a lot of things in the passing game in addition to his feet in Minnesota, to where I'm really a Kevin O'Connell fan. I think he's one of the top coaches in the NFL.
I'd probably put him and
McVay.
Yeah, and I'd say the Rams coach McVay. Those are the first two names off my lips.
Sure.
If I'm talking about the best coach.
Oh, it's totally Leonard Cohen from Jacksonville. I don't know what you two are talking about.
Leonard Cohen. I thought that's a Federal Reserve guy.
I didn't know that's his name. I hesitated because I was like, is his name Leonard? It's Cohen. I know that from that side.
Liam.
Is it Liam?
It's
Liam.
Liam.
Cohen. That's right. Liam. I was like, I know it's something like that. But it's interesting to see. But I mean, then you got, like the Ravens Bills, where John Harbaugh has given up 17 double-digit leads in the fourth quarter to lose games in Baltimore. And he's just, don't play now. How long's he been there? Forever.
12 years, 13 years.
He's been there longer than that.
And he, you know what you got with him. I don't think you can win a Super Bowl with him. Am I wrong?
Well, they've won a Super Bowl with him.
Yeah, but I'm talking about.
Oh, you're talking about now. Well,
consistently.
I'll say this. I don't know what it is, but you're right. They have great regular seasons when they get into playoffs, and you used to be able to point your finger at Lamar Jackson,
yes,
and say, hey, he plays differently in the playoffs than he does.
Because he never had any wide receivers,
right?
So
right.
it's easy to shut him down.
Even last year, I saw Lamar and the Ravens kind of turn the corner because they made this magnificent comeback, and a guy that I covered here in high school, Mark Andrews.
Yes.
I mean, he had a huge turnover and then an even bigger drop on a 2-point conversion in his hand that would have tied the game, sent it to overtime. So I really like what the Ravens are doing. Matter of fact, they're my favorite to win the Super Bowl because I think they have the most talent, to be honest with you, on both sides of the ball. But Derrick Henry, who I keep saying, he's going to fall off the wagon this year because he's getting too old. Running backs his age,
31 years old.
Running backs on the other side of 30 shouldn't be doing what he's doing,
and not especially not the way he runs.
Right.
They break down
quicker.
quicker.
And he had those 2 huge long touchdown runs because he has surprising speed. It's sprinter speed, and he had that huge fumble.
Well, yeah.
It's like
that's what turned the tide.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like whatever can go wrong. It's almost like they're snake bitten. So I don't know if I want to really blame John Harbaugh, honestly.
But for Sunday night, I would agree with you because the fumble's what turned it. Yeah. But 17 of them, I don't care how long you're around, that is a fourth quarter. And then he came out in his press conference and he said, we need to reevaluate how we finish games. Yeah.
I didn't realize. I didn't realize it was 17 fourth quarter. Yeah, that may
be a bunch of years, but that. But then you can't get over the hump.
2008 when
he hired
the Ravens,
and he was a special teams coach. Everybody was like, "Who are you hiring?
No.
Like, who are you?"
No, I do want to give you one little tidbit, Bruce. Maybe not in the regular season, but preseason. If you gamble at all, put a little money on the Ravens preseason.
Yeah,
they don't lose.
They go undefeated.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that much is true. But look, I didn't realize that it was 17 fourth quarter collapses. Yeah. So I'm wow.
Not just a collapse, double digit leads.
I may have to reevaluate my opinion of him then based on that.
That's kind of like, and we'll talk. We might not have time today because you got that very important turkey meeting that you got to get to. I'm being serious there because the charity side. But I know I made it sound like I was making fun of it, and I didn't mean to make fun of it. But kind of like Torey Lovello, eventually a voice goes, and you know what you got.
Yeah.
And John Harbaugh, if you keep having those same issues, you can't get over that hump. At some point, you got to go, we can't get over that hump.
Yeah.
We need to make a change for that reason. That's also dangerous, though, right?
Yeah, because sometimes, like look, I find myself lamenting the fact that we let Monty Williams get away with the Suns because I mean he changed the standards and the winning and then when
Players
he's gone,
turned on him, though.
when he left you say okay good well we'll take Frank Vogel and that doesn't work out well good we'll use Mike Budenholzer and I'm like dang man I miss Monty.
Yeah, but in that case, the players turned on Monty with that whole Ayton thing.
the Ayton
players
thing with the
turned on him
Dallas
a little
Mavericks.
bit, and-
Yeah. So you and that's the only trepidation I would have relative to John Harbaugh.
That's actually what surprises me the most is that team hasn't turned on the coaching staff because if you keep failing, I mean, you could talk about this as a locker room guy. It's just every year
you can say he can talk about failure because he's used to it. Is that what you're saying? I think that's what you're saying.
Yeah. But if you get to the NFC Championship game every year but lose it, eventually players are going to go.
Yeah.
But that's again a little bit. The players have to take some responsibility for that because again, and I'll argue with anybody. Everybody says if Jimmy would have stayed, we'd have won 4 Super Bowls in a row. And I looked Troy straight in the eye and said, we were down 21-0 in that third NFC Championship game before you got your popcorn. We were down 21-0 with 6 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yeah.
Jimmy had nothing to do with any of that. And so you can only blame the coach for so much and always beware of, hey, we're 1 game away from the Super Bowl. We just can't get over the hump. Well, players need to play a little bit better, and things could always be a lot worse.
Yeah.
Well, that's the problem. I always point to that Nebraska thing. We're in Nebraska. We don't win 9 games a year. Well, you're right because now you've won 6 since you made that move.
Yeah,
right?
you change from the Big 12 to the Big 10, and now I don't even know that they exist.
Hey, top of the hour is coming up, but I want to give some credit to the Big 12 here, gentlemen. And Dale, you're going to be floored that I'm about to do that. Do you see the Big 12 suspended a refereeing crew from this weekend?
No.
Yeah, because they made a mistake in the Kansas-Missouri game.
And find them.
Yeah.
Wait.
We've never seen this in
break
sports
this down.
history
What did
before.
I miss?
So in the Missouri-Kansas game, they gave them a free kick when they shouldn't have, basically, at the end of that game. And so egregious miscalculation of the rules and things like that. So the Big 12 officials allowed a punt to occur on a free kick in violation of Rule 2, Section 16, Article 6, Bruce, which you're going to repeat for us right now.
Yeah, not a chance.
So this officiating crew has been removed from its next scheduled assignment, which was going to be Friday night as well. And like Dale said, fine, we don't know how much on that. But the shocking thing about this is they made an egregious mistake on the field. Most leagues push this underneath the rug and mistake was made. Oh, well, we move on. And the Big 12's like, nope, you guys are suspended and fired and, suspended. And basically, if you mess up like this again, you're done and things like that. I mean, you got to give credit to the Big 12 here for stepping up and doing this.
Well, Brett Yormark is their commissioner, if you will. And I just can't. I mean, that's unprecedented.
Yes, it
Yes.
is
It's
unprecedented.
Never heard of it before. Now, that happens, in all fairness, that happens in Major League Baseball. Umpires get suspended. You just never hear about it. They take a vacation.
I got a trivia question for you, Coop. The next time you're out at the bars and
Okay.
hooping and hollering.
Okay.
What's the most played Division I rivalry in history of college football?
The most played
Yeah.
Army Navy, I'd say.
Missouri.
I was saying it's a border war.
What?
18. What is it?
Missouri,
18?
Kansas.
1892
Yeah, something like that.
is when they started. Yeah, 1891. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
1891.
Can you imagine they carried that much back then?
You could probably win a beer, Bruce.
I was going to say something with Notre Dame in it, but I felt like it was a trick question, so that's why I went with our military.
Yeah, I think I saw that on here. Yeah, but as we go to break here at the top of the hour, this is what the Big 12 said. We believe we have one of the best officiating programs in college football. When the conference's high standard of officiating is not met, Big 12 will take action.
Well, they didn't take action in the Arizona State Mississippi State game.
Which was
Because the Big 12,
refs.
the Big 12 was reffing that game, and I got a major issue. I got a major issue.
We're going to talk about it. Bruce is with us. Dale's going to be with us, too, for the next half an hour before he's got to take off today. But we'll get into that. Of course, Cardinals talk as well. Because I am on the side of Drew Pensing's not a good offensive coordinator. And
I
a lot
was
of
not
people
happy with
blame
that team.
Kyler Murray. So let's talk about it when we come back with Bruce Cooper. Come back and join us. And we're back here. Let's not throw that on air, Bruce. Come on. Let's not all get fired on your first day here on that. But, of course, Bruce Cooper is going to join us on Tuesdays coming up. Today he's taking off about 9:30 to go do some meetings on his Turkey Tuesdays coming up. If you don't know, how long have you been doing that now?
Well, I'll tell you what, I did it for 30 years now. This is year 30 for me doing
Amazing.
Turkey Tuesday.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then you give away turkeys for Thanksgiving. Right?
Absolutely.
Which this year, everybody might have to get on board. The way grocery prices
Oh
are
my
going,
goodness!
right?
Oh my goodness!
So obviously donations and stuff. We'll talk a little bit about that as it goes on as well,
sure.
and promote it as well as you get all the details in and stuff like that, because it is a great cause out there. But obviously, Cardinals over the weekend leave New Orleans with a 1-0 record going into the season. But you said right before the break there, you were not happy about your Arizona Cardinals.
I was not. Look, I expected to see the Cardinals win by double digits. And let me tell you why. You know, Spencer Rattler, who's from here in the Valley at
You saw
Pendleton High
him play,
School.
right?
I did. Oh, he's a tremendously gifted quarterback, but this was only his 7th start in the NFL. And so in his first start of the season, he was in a big quarterback duel with Tyler Shuck, another Valley quarterback guy from Hamilton High School in Chandler. And so he won that race, or that duel. And so I expected to see the Cardinals and really throw a lot of pressure at Rattler.
Yes.
I expected Josh Sweat, a guy the Cardinals invested heavily in, to bring in, to add some pressure. Dude, they had 1 sack, and that's Baron Browning.
But Sweat only had 1 tackle.
Right, and Rattler had way too much time to pass, and I'm like, it's like the Cardinals sat back and they gave him all the underneath stuff. I'm like, dude, I mean, what the heck's going on here?
Especially when you have Alvin Kamara, right?
Absolutely, and so the Cardinals' lack of aggression defensively allowed the Saints to stay in the game and to gain. And anytime you allow a team, that old saying, you allow a team to hang around. I mean, they're going to gain some confidence,
especially at home.
Win. Yeah, they think they can win the game. And then offensively, I thought the Cardinals were very underwhelming. Here's a team that last year was a top 5 rushing team. Okay, and so I didn't see James Conner with any of those devastating Cam Scatterboo-like runs that he's famous for. And I didn't see the offensive line like really firing out. Look, Cam Jordan, another Valley native, who he was in the backfield quite a bit, unblocked.
What's he, 62 years old?
Do you remember his freshman year way back when he was there? Where'd he go, Chandler?
Look, he was our Friday Night Fever Defensive Player of the Year.
Was he really?
What year was that? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
He's been around for a
That's too
long
much.
time.
That's too much. But yeah, but his dad, Steve Jordan, was a longtime player with in Dale's era.
Yeah, with the Vikings.
With the
We
Vikings.
didn't play cross paths. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was just underwhelmed by what I saw. And I thought the Cardinals were very fortunate to walk out with a win, and I think the coach called it, and some of the players are calling it an ugly win. Oh man, that it's an ugly fortunate win, because let me tell you something. That pass that Rattler made on 3rd down that turned into 4th down to Jawan Johnson in the end zone. Oh man, I thought we had tied that. They had tied the game up at that point. So
he had caught it. It just they did a good job of knocking it out.
I think Jalen Thompson.
They
and
gave
Buda
that
Baker.
credit to Buda Baker for some reason, but it looks like Thompson got it. But for some reason Buda got the credit.
but they were very fortunate, very underwhelming game. And so now they play a Carolina Panthers team that I didn't coming into the season. I was trying to look at the schedule, and I said, I don't know which team is worse, the Saints or the Panthers. But the Cardinals are fortunate to have them the first 2 games out of the gate. They should be an easy 2-0. Heck, I don't even know anymore.
Well, the way that I look at it
The
is
negativity, Bruce.
Hey, I gotta call it like it is.
the way I look at it. You brought up Sweat's name. Gosh, I had intimate knowledge of a Super Bowl MVP who got a huge contract because of it, and he wasn't worthy of that contract.
He went to the Raiders, right?
Yeah, he went to the Raiders.
Larry Brown.
Larry Brown. But Josh Sweat, he's an 8-sack guy, and he had a great Super Bowl, so he got a lot of money. I mean, if he ends up with 9 sacks this year, that's kind of who he is. But people are going to be disappointed because of the expectations were raised during the Super Bowl. I'm more concerned about the offense. I think the defense will come together. Offensively, I don't see any explosion. I'm happy that Marv Harrison can catch a deep ball that's kind of contested. That's improvement. But I don't see the explosiveness from this offense. Again, game one, I always tell Steve, I'm not going to get two heads over heels.
This is the offense, though. It's the same offense we saw as last year. It's a boring offense. It's hand the ball off. It's throw it underneath. Here's this stat for you guys right here I want to bring up to you. This comes from NFL.com, things they looked at in the game and everything from Sunday. And this drives me nuts about Kyler Murray, besides running out of bounds behind,
but by the way, we talked about this yesterday, Bruce, and you probably don't even pay much attention to it, and rightfully so. But there were 2 times where Kyler Murray ran out of bounds a half yard short of the line of scrimmage.
Second drive of the game, so he got 2 sacks and nobody was around him.
And the offensive line they gave up 5 sacks. That's gonna, by the end of the year, you're not gonna remember he ran out of bounds, but it's still gonna be on the total.
Yeah, one time he slid at the line of scrimmage, and the other time he stepped out right behind the line of scrimmage. So.
Yeah, well, I know we've talked about the fragility of some quarterbacks around the NFL, and that's a play I don't really mind seeing a quarterback do if it's going to mean that they don't get hit.
That wasn't the case, though.
I agree. I think he could have kept running out of bounds and made it out of bounds given his speed and athleticism.
Throw the ball away. Is he not?
You can't.
Is he not throwing it away because he's trying to preserve his stats?
Steve. That's a very good point.
Well,
that's a very good point.
Yeah, but
Thank
Bruce,
you, everybody. I'll see you later.
But Bruce, you know where he got that from?
No.
Because I told him the story. When I was in Buffalo, Jim Kelly came in my second year. In Jim Kelly's mind, back then, this is the 80s NFL football, completing 60% of your passes was Pro Bowl level. And so that was the number he wanted that he had in his head that he needed to reach. So he would hold on to the ball. He would take a sack rather than throw the ball away. Well, guess what? After about a half a season, the offensive lineman, me being one of them, say, "What the hell are you doing? You're making us look bad." And then it came out he wanted to complete 60% of the passes. Well, he obviously adjusted, and they went on to have a lot of success.
He played all right,
but he wouldn't throw the ball away.
Yeah.
If you could take an 8-yard sack or run out of bounds a yard before the line of scrimmage, just throw the ball.
That was the MO of Shedeur Sanders last year in Colorado, taking those backward sacks for 30-yard losses because he refused to throw it away because it was his stat line.
Yeah.
It's just some quarterbacks do it. But I don't know if that's him, or I don't know if it's just he's like, all right, I'm going to do the safe thing and get it, and he doesn't realize he's a yard back or whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know which it is.
That's a very good. I think that he could do more of that. Because he's gifted enough to get outside of the pocket, and when you see the defense converging on you or collapsing on you, hey, just flip it out of bounds.
Yeah. You're on the sideline, literally just boom. It's not difficult.
Well, we saw Spencer Rattler do it a couple times.
Yeah, and here's the deal: it's not like Kyler needs the stats because he's got his money.
Right.
He's got his bag. Yeah.
Right.
Yes, exactly. So, but what I've been trying to figure out last year and this year is it Drew Penzing or is it Kyler Murray? And I lean on the Drew Penzing side of it because I watched the All 22 film. I haven't seen this week's yet, but I think the offensive, the play calling, the receiver routes are unimaginative. They don't put anybody into motion. I think everybody runs the same route. Like he has a guy, run a 10-yard in, but then he's got a guy running a 4-yard in underneath him. And Kyler Murray's got to decide which is the open guy. Kurt Warner did a great video on it last year. It's not just the Cardinals. That seems to be the trend of offensive coordinators out there and stuff like that. But then also, this stat is amazing because I went to look this up and I found this next gen stats stuff here. Kyler Murray completed 8 of 10 passes for 71 yards, 2 touchdowns against the blitz on the day, right? So he had a passer rating of 135.8 there. Last year, he had a passer rating of 79 against the blitz, 4th lowest in the NFL. So that was a focal point, at least in game 1. He had some success against the blitz, right? From that side. Here's my problem, though. He targeted pass catchers behind the line of scrimmage 31% of his attempts. That's the 6th highest rate in a game in his career. He completed 9 for 20 yards and a touchdown. Is this a check down team? Is it Kyler Murray making a check down team, or is it the way the offense is called in design, or is it the lack of wide receivers not named Marvin Harrison Jr.? Or a combination?
I will say this much. You know, the Cardinals are a 2-receiver team. Tight end Trey McBride.
Oh, I was going to say, who's the second one?
Wide receiver Marvin Harrison.
Right.
And if they want to ascend and absolutely be an explosive type team with these big explosive on offense, they're going to have to develop and find these other receivers that you're talking about. I agree with you 1,000.
Nobody gets open.
Yeah, well,
I'll be there this weekend, so I'll see. I haven't seen the All-22 from last week. Last year, guys would not get open. And then if guys got open, Kyler Murray would find them late because, he's being pressured or whatever. But guys don't get open on the field. And it's just like, what? Then I watch other games, like the Bills-Ravens, and there's guys running wide open down the field for 10 yards before anybody covers them, and Josh Allen finds them, And it's an amazing thing to watch. And that's what I'm trying to figure out. Is it the offensive coordinator's calls? Is it the design of the offense? Or is it the limitation of their clientele, their personnel? But I guess my whole point on this is you're going to be disappointed by this Cardinals offense all season.
Yeah,
The defense is what's going to be good on this
I
team.
think Michael Wilson can be an emerging receiver on this team.
For, 4 years now? 3 years now?
But let me tell you something. There are games in which he absolutely shows out his hand-eye coordination, and so then the next 2 or 3 games, it's like, where is he? It's almost like they don't utilize him in there. Zay Jones has been an effective. Well, he's been a very big disappointment in the Cardinals, but he's been an effective receiver elsewhere. And so, to answer your question, I'm going about a roundabout way. I think it's Petsy.
So you agree with me on that?
Yeah, I really do, because I have seen. Matter of fact, even when the Cardinals had some injuries, Greg Dortch out of the slot, he's made some big catches things, but they just don't seem that they have them designed in their scheme.
Greg Dortch should be running out of that slot or running out of the backfield every play because he's a threat to the defense. And they don't do it until they do it, and then he catches 20 yards and they don't go back to it again.
But
it's frustrating.
Let's go back to Kevin O'Connell. The second touchdown pass that even gave the Vikings the lead for the first time that McCarthy threw, it was to Aaron Jones, a running back out of the backfield. They didn't give him out in the flat. He went deep and 1-on-1 against the linebacker. Look, we've seen DeMarcado be effective in the passing game. I mean, James Conner has been a surprise to me in the passing game. Why don't you utilize or even draft a receiver, a running back that you have confidence in? Because it opens things up. I don't know if you guys remember a guy named David Johnson.
I remember that one year.
Yeah. Oh, and it was a spectacular season. It got him paid, but he showcased a lot of skill as a receiver downfield. And look, I just think the Cardinals are wasting some opportunities here, especially when you have McBride in his prime. You have
Tip Ryman. I mean, he had 1 catch for 10 yards, but Tip Ryman's if you have McBride and Ryman going out on route, how are you covering that? How are you covering that as a defense?
The thing about when you talk about the running back, what's so fascinating about that Aaron Jones thing last night, one-on-one matchup against the linebacker, you have a running back who can catch the ball. That's nearly impossible for the defense to cover. It's just a mismatch from the time the ball's snapped. You got a 250, 260-pound linebacker trying to cover a 200-pound running back who can run routes. that's devastating.
But it also pulls someone else out of the box, allows you to go through a progression,
Right.
and you can find some open. I just don't. I'm
Kyler
just.
doesn't go through progression.
Well,
He does, but he's like 1-2, and then his ball's got to come out or he's running. it.
Yeah, I'm
He
just.
doesn't go through.
I'm just unimpressed with what I saw from the Cardinals on both sides
Game
of the ball.
one.
Son.
They didn't play it all in the preseason. I mean, they played the first game.
It is, and you do have to. I do.
I'm more concerned about the offensive line and defensive line. Those should be strengths on this team, and they weren't against. Now, that's the healthiest the Saints are going to be, and they have talent on that team. In Week 12, they won't have talent there, as guys will get out with age and stuff like that. But Week 1 is kind of a shocker. I think that was my biggest.
Well, I think so many teams these days, Bruce, are using the first and second and third games as their preseason.
Have you noticed that everybody looks so, not just Cardinals game, everybody looks so exhausted in the fourth quarter?
Because they haven't played but 8 snaps in a preseason game. And
2-hour practices.
I've always been of the thinking, since everybody's going that way, that I'm going to take advantage of those first 2-3 games. I'm going to play my guys in the preseason. Hey, if you get hurt, you're going to get hurt. At the end of the day, you get hurt in practice, you can get hurt in the game. But I can take advantage of those first 2 or 3 games. And guess what? They don't count less than they do in December. They still count as 1 win or 1 loss. They don't count extra in December, but you steal 2 or 3 in September, and all of a sudden you got a little cushion on the backside.
Being a fantasy football league player that I am, I'm very much aware of this. There were really only 3 quarterbacks this weekend who really, threw the ball effectively, and they made some things happen. You had Josh Allen in Buffalo, Lamar Jackson, and Baker Mayfield. Those were the top 3 quarterbacks in my league. Now I have a guy named Joe Burrow, who I thought was really going to do something.
There's 7 yards in the second half. Didn't do it for you.
Even look when you look at their talent level, and you see that Jamar Chase had 2 catches for 26
they
yards.
just paid
You
2
see
receivers.
T. Higgins 3 catches for 33 yards. Come on, Joe. Come on, I need you. I lost.
So in other words, 7 yards in the second half doesn't help your fantasy team.
That's
No, that's fine. So look, I think Dale might be onto something. I think too many teams are, trying to stay away from getting their star players injured in preseason, and so now Game 1 was really their
second preseason.
Yeah.
It's the first month of the season. We'll have to see. Robert says, after watching games this weekend, aren't you guys concerned about the lack of athletic ability in the running back room? He says, Connor's running a 9.840 at this point in his career. Benson doesn't seem to have any vision. See, Connor's job is to wear down the defense by pounding it in there and wear him down on that side. And then he'll break some open later on in the game. Trey Benson, I can't stand dancing. And that's my problem with ASU's running back room right now. Kwame Brown is a dancer, and it drives me nuts watching him run the football.
Yeah.
So in terms of the Cardinals, I want to see how they go, but I think that's how they have it by design.
I think their most explosive running back is not even active on game days. That'd be Bam McKnight.
Was he not active? He wasn't even on special teams. I didn't pay attention. I'm not.
I know people have seen the explosions, of DeMarcado in terms of once he gets a step, he can go. But Bam has some vision, some wiggle, and some burst. And so I think he's their most explosive running back. But I don't think you're going to see him too much this year, barring any injury. So
you'll get injuries from somebody. Somebody's going to get injured on that running back squad.
Yeah,
it's going to come quickly. So ASU side of it, I mean. I said a month ago, it had to have been July or August. It had to have been July or June. I said ASU, everybody was talking about not having Cam. That was going to be an issue. In my opinion, they solved we don't have Cam, they can't run the football thing in this game the other night. But I brought it up, it had to be June or July, where I said ASU's problem is who's the other receiver besides Jordan Tyson. And they proved the other night they do not have a second receiver on this team.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you there.
Right.
This ASU receiving core is much better and much deeper than it was a year ago.
That's not good.
Yeah. And so, look, I don't know what it was about Sam Levitt. It seems like it took him like 2 or 3 games to get rolling last year because
Yes.
once he did, but he's missing throws. Let me tell you something. They had Jalen Moss transfer in from Fresno State. Moss catches like 100 balls a year. They had Jaron Hamilton transfer in from Alabama. Jaron Hamilton was a 5-star recruit going to Alabama. His only problem was he couldn't see the field because of the talent. So he's here. He tore it up in ASU practices. He's a deep threat.
And the game happened,
Yeah,
Bruce.
yeah. Harry. Well. Here's the deal. You have to have a quarterback that's going to look that way.
Yeah, I mean, they were open. Sam Levitt, I saw
Oh, he-
game
he-
film.
he
Sam
overthrew
Levitt
it.
missed.
Yeah.
He didn't even look at guys that were wide open.
Yeah, I think his problem is he looks too much to Tyson. You know, I think that could be a problem. Look, Mateer, their tight end, he's an NFL prospect based on his ability to catch and block the ball.
Did they even throw at him once?
No. And they have a true freshman tight end in Ia that's not seeing the field right now. But I just think that ASU is not utilizing the talent to its fullest on their roster. I mean, I really do. Look. I'll be the first to admit I didn't know anything about Kanye Udo. Look, he ran hard, and let me tell you something. Raleek Brown, he's added like
Raleek,
10.
what I say?
Yeah, he's added 10 pounds of muscle. But look,
But he dances too much.
You can say that. You can say that. But he had 110 yards rushing. Udo had over 100, and I'm like, look, that collectively that's enough.
No, that is enough. But it comes down to what is it about the quarterback that has changed from the end of last year? Here you come in, high expectations. You think another year, another offseason, that he would hit the ground running.
Dale, it really looked to me in watching the first 2 games, he's relied a lot on those press clippings, even though he said all the right things.
Yeah.
You know, I think this loss may be good for him in the sense that it can get him back to what he did last year. He did a much better job in throwing the ball around, and I mean, and look, Jordan Tyson was prolific. He was all that. When he went down, you know, Malik stepped in and had some big catches.
But they didn't have too many guys step up on the wide receiver side after he went down. That was part of the issue.
Well, look, I didn't have a problem with what I saw in that Texas game. I mean, they blew out Iowa State. I didn't have a problem with what I saw in the Texas game. The number 1, God, what was his name? He transferred in from Idaho State. He has a big touchdown catches for him. I can't think of his name right now, but he's
can't go back to last
year.
year.
Yeah, he went back. Yeah, he's out of
That's a long time ago.
But I'm just saying that this receiving core that ASU has right now is deeper and more talented than what we saw a year ago. Sam Levitt's going to have to do a better job in his accuracy and in his progressions, because if he's, and I've seen a couple of mock NFL drafts. He's the first quarterback in a couple of these mocks. You know, that's how highly he's been regarded. But I'm telling you, after you watch the first couple of weeks, not only would you dismiss that, you even dismiss the Heisman Trophy talk you're hearing about him.
But what I want to get your thoughts on is, I think Kenny Dillingham endeared himself to the fans last year. Ultra aggressive, going forward on 4th down. Now, some of that was because he had you or me as place kicker, and I didn't have a whole lot of confidence in it. But go back to Saturday, 4th down on the goal line there. Last year, I think he goes for that. This year, he kicks a field goal. Do you think there's any change in his mindset as we're looking at this season?
You know what? I think that, yeah, with the expectations now, and he's raised the standards. I think he's brought a little bit more conservativeness out of him, if that's a word. You know, he like you said, he was ultra aggressive last year. He was like the Detroit Lions. I mean,
Yes.
every 4th down, he's going for it. Well, he had a great opportunity there. I thought that was a great opportunity for him. If you fail, the game is still tied. They have to go 99 yards with no timeout.
Right.
99.5 yards.
Well,
I think
99
it was.
and a half
Yeah,
yards, no
exactly.
timeout.
I mean, that's a
and
big
so,
deal. Yeah.
and so I thought that was a missed opportunity. So I was curious to hear what he would say if anyone would ask him about that in the postgame. Sure enough, they did, and he said he did the right thing. He would do it 1,000 times. Take the lead and rely on your defense. Well, that defense, it seems like when they played in a cover 3, that they were able to bottle up Mississippi State's receivers. They kept them in front of them.
Right.
Anytime they decided they wanted to gamble and blitz, they went one-on-one, and they got confused, especially with them Mississippi State running trips and then running some wiggles off those trips, and then they confused the DBs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, explain trips to people at home, because for the people that don't understand what you're breaking down there.
okay. When you put 3 receivers out to the same side of the field, and so that's
the thing. They got picked off, stuff like that. But that's where the last play, the cover 0 last play, baffles me. And we played it before you got here and you were walking in. Kenny Dillingham saying, that we're trying to be aggressive in that moment. Which
it was 3rd and 9. Look, I'm still pissed about 4th and 13. I can't get over 4th and 13. That's 3rd and 9. Come on.
And it's like, it's like you're conservative on this end and kick the field goal, and then you go ultra aggressive when you can lose later on. You should have been aggressive down here, where worst case you're tied at 99.5 yards down the field. You need to be aggressive there and not in that moment. And they keep going back to being aggressive in that moment, and that's where I kind of just like. Yeah, but I also think, and let me get your thoughts on this here. I said it yesterday. I think this coaching staff came into the season and they said, Sam Leavitt, Jordan Tyson, they're all hyped for all this stuff. They're going to be our focal point. And I think what we've learned after 2 games is run the damn ball, and then your passing game will open up for those guys. And we learned that in the second half of this game. We saw it in the second half. We all wanted it kind of before that. And I think the coaching staff came into the season kind of the same thing, reading the papers, etc. So now they're like, well, these are our 2 guys. We got to make sure we force it down. That's all they did was that first half of that game. It wasn't working for Sam Leavitt. Like, you stop having him throw the ball with all the mistakes that were being made out, and they just kept forcing it.
Yeah, look. I love his heart. I love his tenacity. I love his aggression. I'm talking about Sam Leavitt. I just hope. I hope he tempers his running style, because this dude he still wants to run through the defenders. Yeah. Dude, if you get hurt, we're left with Jeff Sims, and that's just not a good solution there. You need to stay healthy. So I'd like to see him pull a few more Kyler Murrays and just slide. To be honest with you. But look. He's going to have to turn into that Sam Leavitt of last year, where his accuracy is there regardless of his target.
But they didn't play well in the first 5 games last year, and then they turned it on. Of course they'd won those games, which obviously put them on the map. Then they lost at Cincinnati and stuff like that.
They only lost to Cincinnati because that's the game that Leavitt missed because he got hurt.
Yeah. And they struggled at the beginning of it, and then they woke up and made it a game and stuff like that. But I'm not surprised by seeing a slow start, because we saw it last year on top of it. I mean, would we rather not see it? Yes. But I do think young coaching staff, let's face it, I mean, a lot of experienced coaches on the staff, but they're high school coaches.
But the difference is the slow start last year. Just like I'm not concerned right now about the Cardinals. Yeah. A slow start last year, but they beat Texas State. Even though they didn't play well, even though they had to come back and it was ugly, they won the game. This is the game against Mississippi State. Very winnable game. When
I turned it off, they won it.
Steve and I argue all the time about the SEC, and he thinks they get too much pomp and circumstance.
Way too much pomp and circumstance.
And all that. And I just said, hey, the college football playoffs should be Big 10, Big 12, and let's move on. Get all the riffraff out of there.
Makes me angry that he says that, Bruce. Hey, before you take off,
first of all, it's comments like that we need the dunce hat. Just put them in a closet.
Makes me angry with those
talk about
SEC
the idiocy. I mean, come on.
I mean, you maybe throw SMU in there and then leave one Big 10 team out.
He thinks SMU's got a chance, but Florida State's resurgence this year.
I was surprised.
ACC.
I was very surprised. I was very surprised. I mean, boy, you talk about being on the hot seat.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't think there was
Norvell
a coach. Yeah, I don't think there was a coach on the had a hotter seat than Norvell. I really do mean that. I mean, it was brutal. Look, the year before, Yeah, you felt bad for them because they lost their quarterback and they kept him out. But last year, dude, how do you explain last year? It was brutal.
Same thing. Came in expecting to win, and they did. Young coaching staff, never in that position. Like, people I think are overlooking. This is Kenny Dillingham and most of his coaching staff's first time with this type of press, too. Kenny Dillingham last week went on like 17 different national shows to promote the program. Like, he's being torn in several different ways on that. You know, it's an adjustment level on that. And I think that could be affecting it here at the beginning, too. So something to watch going forward. But before you take off, your Diamondbacks. Torey Lovello, stay or go? Because he's staying. I've resigned myself to the fact he's staying after this year. Your quick thoughts.
Well, look, you certainly can't fault him for the glut of impactful injuries. I mean, your two back end closers, your ace pitcher.
They weren't closers because he refused to name a closer.
Well, but I didn't have a problem with that because they were both worthy of that spot. You know, A.J. Puck and Martinez, you know, I mean, look, one throws the ball 150 miles. I'm exaggerating.
105.
Yeah.
About that.
And the other is a very effective lefty who mixes things up and has a nice little sweeper with him. And so they were both instrumental in what the Diamondbacks did a year ago. And so you came in with a lot of optimism this year based on that talent. And so, look, the Diamondbacks have blown like 38
The record games,
38 games.
Record.
I mean, if you just cut that in half, you're already.
If they've won 9 other games this year, they're in the wild. They're ahead of the Mets.
And so it makes a difference. And so,
but who's that? That's not on. That's. Yeah, they had those injuries, but they also had nobody to fill in on those.
Well,
spots.
I can't. You can't blame the manager for that. The manager, he coaches up the players that's provided to him.
Here's my problem, and I struggle with Torey, and I argue with Dale about this all the time. Is we know what Torey is. Like, look at this team now. When there was expectations, when they had high-level veterans on this team before the injuries, this team wasn't focused, making errors, not pitching well, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Now, injuries are gone. Trade deadline comes. They get rid of a couple veterans out there. Now, all of a sudden, they're playing like they should have played earlier.
Yeah.
They play better under Torey with zero expectations. You're not going to win. Even though he made the World Series a couple years ago, that was surprising fashion. It's the same Torey team that year. So you got a blip on that one. But that's where I struggle with them. And it's like you need somebody that can win under those expectation levels, and I don't think he's got it.
You make a great point there. I mean, this team, and this is what really drives me crazy. The year they went, and we were talking just 2 years ago, they went to the World Series.
They backed into the playoffs.
Say you back in is all you want to, but they had a mantra. It was something that with the word chaos. You know, they created chaos, and so they ran the bases. They used their speed and their They used their speed. They used their athletic. They played some small ball type stuff, and they used their pitching. So it was pitching and defense that carried them. So now they've gotten away from that. They really have. I mean,
Torey said after the trade deadline, hey, they started running, and then somebody asked him, hey, why are you running more? And he goes, well, we're more athletic now. And I went, you've had Corbin Carroll on this team all year. What do you mean you're more athletic now?
You've had Carroll, McCarthy.
McCarthy was up and down.
Yeah, he was.
But Corbin Carroll stole a couple bases, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, we're more athletic now. It's like, no, Corbin's beating.
I just felt like they got away from their identity. The thing that made
those
them,
analytics, Bruce.
Yeah, the thing that made them special, and so now. They get a guy named Eugenio Suarez, and so now they want to swap the ball a lot. Now I have no problem with having a home run hitter on the team, but you can't. You don't need 9 home run hitters on the team.
No, we've done that before.
They have to get back to their identity, and their identity is using their defense and their speed.
And having their star player actually show up and play and not miss games. We'll talk about that with Bruce next Tuesday as well. Joining us every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday,
guys.
As
well. 8:30 till the end of the show, except for when he's got important charity meetings you got to go take care of.
Yeah, I got to take that. Hey, I'll see you guys next Tuesday, and we'll be talking about how terrible of a predictor that Dale Hellestrate is, because we know he's going to pick the Carolina Panthers to beat the Cardinals this week, and he's got his SMU Mustangs favored to win as well. Oh, jeez, this guy.
ASU and ASU and Cardinals win this weekend.
Jeez, boy, you know what? If they don't, we're in major trouble. We're in major trouble. But I do think that both are. Cardinals are home opener. Carolina Panthers, one of the worst teams in the NFL.
they look terrible.
Cardinals should win. Sun Devils return home against Texas State.
14.5-point favorites.
I think that Sam Levitt starts to play up to his capabilities. Yeah.
I think that's a make-right game for ASU. I think practices this week are going to be on point. We won't hear it very much, but I think the practices are going to be on point. And I do think with the way this team is, I think that was a wake-up call. Those first two games. First game was easy to write off as our first game. Then the Mississippi State, how it happened. I think this team now goes, we better start playing. So,
absolutely.
And if they come out, I told Dale yesterday, if they come out in that first quarter on Saturday night, 7:30 p.m., they're at Mountain American Stadium, and they are terrible in that first quarter, send the alarm bells, because this is going to be a god-awful season.
I'll be booing if that's the case.
Point, right? So Bruce will be back next Tuesday. Appreciate it very much. Everybody else will get the show done.
Steve.
The main event.
All right.
And we're back here. Main event. Appreciate the legend, Bruce Cooper, joining us here on the 9th. Said he would. Not the 2nd, but I thought it was the 9th.
Not the 8th.
Not that stuff. So every Tuesday coming up, he's going to join us. Of course, does a lot of that charity work there for the Turkey Tuesdays. He's been doing that for 30 years, he said now. I remember that when I was a kid when he was doing that stuff there. So we'll get more talk into that coming up into the holiday season, having all their meetings now and getting a lot. I think last year, if I remember correctly, they raised record money on that to get turkeys out to people for the Thanksgiving holiday and everything. So we'll track that with him as well every Tuesday coming up. Don't forget Mike Sheehan as Scottsdale Christian Academy head coach joining us tomorrow. Huh?
He's back?
He's back. Well,
Okay.
Is he?
I don't know.
I haven't texted him. I just assumed. They got me all paranoid.
You know what assume spells.
Yeah, he told me the week after last week. Of course, big game this weekend coming up. Back home for them. They've been on the road for 2. Back home this Friday night coming up and everything. He joins us tomorrow. Of course, Uncle Lou on Thursday as well. New football schedule here, Dale. But, we just got done talking Diamondbacks out there and, lost 2 in a row now. This team is just filled, just sits there, goes back and forth, to the point they're still 4.5 games out. Here's the bad part. If they don't figure out – now, you went up against the Giants ace last night. And you had your 5th starter. That's a fill-in starter in there last night. I'm not surprised at the outcome. I'm not going to lie to you guys that they lost that game and everything. The bad part is if the Giants run off some wins against you here, they're going to catch the Mets and get into the wild card standings here as well. So that's not what you want to see, a division rival push a playoff wild card run off of your back here.
But again, you look at it, and the Diamondbacks come out, they score 3 runs in the second.
Off of the ace.
They take the lead.
Yeah,
they
Webb.
probably give up 2 in the bottom. Score another one in the third.
Yeah.
Give up 2 more.
Yeah.
And then Katie barred the door after that. But it's just it gets so frustrating.
Who's Katie? Why is she barring the door? That's the thing. It's just frustrating, especially when you jump on the Giants' ace as quickly as you do from that. So, look, it doesn't mean, they're keeping you interested. I mean, they lose 2 out of 3 or get swept in this Giants series, you're going to lose interest in the Diamondbacks pretty quickly, because you're just not going to get to that point. But something to keep an eye on out there as well. And then NFL news. And we didn't get to with Bruce there and everything, but okay. I said before the season, Brian Daboll's going to be fired in the middle of this season. I said week 5, week 6, maybe week 7. They have a horrible, tremendously bad schedule here to start the season, and they have a horribly, tremendously bad schedule to end the season. They are playing juggernauts to open and close the season. Week 1 finishes. Brian Daboll goes to his press conference and says, and would not commit. He had 5 chances, I counted watching that press conference. 5 chances to say Russell Wilson's our quarterback moving forward, and he refused to say it. Yesterday, they did announce Russell Wilson starting game 2 this week. He's starting that controversy at the end of week 1.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the whole game. The Cardinals were on. But, I mean, first of all, Cam Scatterbo, get him the football. Problem is, I have a feeling he's going to break down because the way he's just – have you ever seen somebody just rolling people over like that consistently like he does? I mean, it was an amazing thing to watch. I'm not knocking anything. It's just like, oh, buddy, you got a 17-week season ahead of you.
You know, the physicality reminds me a little bit of Earl Campbell.
Oh, okay. You know who I was thinking of? Larry Centers.
Larry Centers wasn't that physical.
You played Larry Centers. He was just big, and he would run you over.
He's like 200 pounds, 195.
But am I thinking of somebody else?
Yeah.
Who was the big running back for the Cardinals that was all buff and ran people over all the time? And he had like
Larry Centers was a pass-catching guy. He caught 100 passes
so it wasn't
one
Larry
year.
Centers. I'm not thinking of Larry Centers then. I'm thinking of some.
Otis Wilson?
No, they had like this big. That was before my time. Okay, Cardinals had this big buff guy that would just run people over, and then like had a year and a half, 2 years of wow, this guy could be something, and then just broke down after that. But it is fun to watch right now. That's his style of football. And I told you guys at the beginning of the year, his strength this first year at least is going to be getting the ball outside on the wing and going up against running backs. Cornerbacks, safeties, stuff like that. And that showed in that Washington game. If you give him the ball out there, he's going to do all right. Then I watched plays where Russell Wilson would have a clean pocket and he would just step up into a pocket and a Washington defender would be standing there and just literally just grab him and tackle him. And it's like, why are you stepping up into the sack, man, when you have a clean pocket?
Right.
I mean, it was egregious stuff like that with Russell Wilson. It's what we've come to expect from Russell Wilson. It's the way he's played a lot lately. And stuff like that. And I told you guys Jackson Dart would be the starting quarterback coming up week 3 or 4, mainly because Brian Daboll's job's on the line. And one way you can save your line, like Torrey, get a young guy in there, have him do some positives, and then you go, look what I'm doing with the young guy. I should stick around, right? So I think that's what's coming. But after week 1, failing to commit to your starting quarterback alarms me a lot.
Well, I mean, you look at Russell Wilson's numbers: 17 to 37, no touchdowns, no interceptions, sacked a couple times.
The Giants, by the way, under Daboll, I don't think have scored a touchdown in their first game the whole time he's been a coach there.
25.5 QBR, 59 rating. So yes, I can see why you're not committing to him. But what changed between Sunday evening and
That's
Monday
the thing.
morning?
And then you come out yesterday and say we're starting Russell Wilson this weekend. That tells me somebody got to him, right? Like you can't go to the young kid in week 2.
Right.
Let's get through this hard part of the schedule. Their first 4 or 5 games are going to be hard. Let's get through this, and then we can make the switch and give him a chance coming up. There's a lot of problems around the Giants, but this Giants situation gives me flashbacks to when Kurt Warner was there. Aging quarterback, has had success in his career, shows up, hung onto the ball too long, he did, and you have this young quarterback behind you waiting to go out there, has showed flashes in the preseason of getting it, and this is the exact same situation replaying itself there in New York. It's fascinating.
Except for is the coach going to be there to see it?
Nope. Who was the coach when Kurt Warner was there? It was Coughlin, was it?
I'm not sure if it was Coughlin or not.
That's what I don't remember. Kurt Warner, Giants head coach. That's the thing. Giants went through some coaches there for a while that I get confused where he was. So 2004. Because Coughlin did not draft Eli Manning or did not make that trade for Eli Manning. I don't believe. So, who was New York Giant? I know you guys love when I do this.
Yeah,
I know.
You expect me to remember 20 years ago?
Yeah, why not? I do. Why don't you?
No, you don't. That's why you're Googling it.
Jim Fossil was still the head coach.
Okay.
He was there till 2015.
Fossil was?
Fossil was, yeah.
Are you sure?
Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The head coach for the Giants in 2004 was Tom Coughlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he took over in January of that year from Jim Fossil. He had, and then Tom Coughlin led him till 2015. I hope reading's fundamental, folks. The AI made me look stupid. So it was Tom Coughlin that made that move, which makes sense.
And
me.
he got
Tom
to reap the
Coughlin.
rewards.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Jim Fossil's like, just this Giants situation is going to be, which is kind of sad to see. I think the league's better when the Giants are a good team.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a lot like the NBA. It's not as important to the NFL as it is the NBA when New York and Chicago and the Lakers are good. Because the NFL, did you ever get ratings for that Cowboy?
The Thursday Nighter?
Yeah. It had to break all sorts
Oh,
of
it did. It
records.
broke every record on the planet. And then the YouTube game the next night I just saw that today.
Okay.
The YouTube game had like 30, had the most people watching a streaming event ever. I want to say 31 million, but don't quote me on that number. I saw that. But no, that opening, and it wasn't because it was it was the opening night of football. Settle down, Cowboys fan.
It's the star, baby. The star sells. You know that.
You know what else sells? Eagles. EAG. Okay. The YouTube's first exclusive. I thought their coverage was fantastic. YouTube's coverage was good. I had no problems with it on my TV, on my phone. 16 million U.S. viewers.
Okay.
Worldwide. That must be the worldwide 30 million worldwide for that show on you. That's why they're going streaming, folks. Double your audience in
That's
other
why
countries.
streaming wants them.
Absolutely. Well, it's like Netflix. You know, like I know you make fun of me a lot for the WWE stuff, but WWE on Netflix, they get a big rating in America. You know where they get a bigger rating? Everywhere else in the world. And NBC can't broadcast to the whole world like Netflix and YouTube can and stuff like that. 28.3 million for that kickoff game was the viewers there. And by the way, it would have been higher except for that hour-long lightning delay.
I bet
Most people, especially East Coast people, right?
Yeah.
Turned it down at that point. So, yeah.
Keep going, baby. Keep going.
But I wonder. I know it's a huge rating for that, and that was a good game. Chargers, Chiefs have a receiver problem. I don't know how they're going to make it to the AFC Championships game this year, with their lack of receivers. Now Worthy's with the separated shoulder. Who knows how long he's going to be out? But when he went down, I mean, I think it was Robert on Twitter was like, Patrick Mahomes, you can't hit receiver. And I'm like, I don't think he has anybody to throw to anymore.
Right.
And God bless him. I mean, God bless Mr. Taylor Swift. But I don't think he can play anymore, Dale.
Oh, come on.
He looks slow out there.
He's going to slowly work his way into shape.
Last year, they worked him into shape slowly, and then they had to rest him for the playoff run, and then in the playoffs, they had to rest him. Hey, man, age catches up to you. I'm not knocking him at all. Cardinals, after this weekend, they play the San Francisco 49ers. We do know, Kittle's going to be out for that game.
Before we get away from that Kansas City Charger game,
Yeah. Oh,
it's
Harbaugh.
interesting talking about Harbaugh. The fact that, and I didn't realize this, I just remember hearing a blurb, so I quickly looked it up a lot quicker than you do. His second year at the stops where he's been.
It's his come out year, right?
So it's his second year. The second year with the Chargers. When he was in San Francisco, they were 11-4. They went to the NFC Championship game. When he was at Stanford, they went 12-1. They went to the Orange Bowl, and I think it was even a little bit.
San Diego had
it was
the
thing.
second year, yeah.
And Michigan. So
I forgot about Michigan.
Yeah, so it's like, again, I don't like the guy, but look out for the Chargers this year, even without their left hand.
I have the Chargers second in that division, and I'm going to wait a few more weeks. I'm not going to overreact, but I'm going to put out there, Chargers might win this division. The way they play physical, now they got to stay healthy. But, I mean, that offense, the Chiefs had no defense against that just power offense.
Right.
And then Herbert is able to do stuff now, and I was really impressed with the Chargers. I think they're set up. Well, I mean, they had a fullback on their team. Dale, when's the last time you saw an NFL fullback on a team?
Well, the only one that I know is in San Francisco.
Yes. Yeah, say his name. Go ahead, say it.
Weissach?
Yeah, don't look at it before you say it because you will not be able to pronounce it at that point. But yeah, I mean, Kittle's out for multiple weeks with his hamstring. Like, how bad did he tear that?
Right.
Purdy, we'll see this weekend, but
He's-
shoulder.
I
Finger
saw
injuries.
last night when I was watching Monday Night Game, it said Purdy is iffy.
Is that-
I've never seen iffy before.
That sounds right for Purdy, though. But here's my
Hey.
question, and I didn't get to ask Bruce this, but here's my question. Bruce saw him play, obviously, here with the Perry Pumas.
Perry Pumas.
Down there in Chandler.
Supposed to do Perry Puma.
Yeah, Perry Pumas. My new favorite thing going to these high school games is looking at the blow-up things that they run out of. Some of them are bad. Like the Desert Ridge one looks like the Jaguars taking a dump. You didn't see that picture I put out on it? It looks so bad. You didn't see the Twitter picture I put out on it? Queen Creek Bulldogs one was a little small. I was kind of disappointed in that. You need a grand blow up thing that the team runs out of. It needs to be grand.
Hey, maybe they didn't have a big enough budget.
You know what? Queen Creek gets enough of my money. They can afford a bigger one. Purdy gets hurt a lot. Is this one of the reasons why the Niners didn't want to pay him?
Oh, I'm not sure that it's that they didn't want to pay him. They didn't want to pay him the money that they
didn't want to pay him that. Yeah, they didn't want to pay him that much.
But he made plays. They won the
Yeah,
game.
he did. He looks good, but now he's got fingers, toes, shoulder injuries.
Sounds like McCollum.
I know. Oh, it's like, what the heck? It's fascinating to see on these Niners how they fall apart as well. Dolphins are in a lot of trouble.
Ooh.
Not only is we got to have a Tua conversation,
Well, you
It's
have to
just-
have a Tua conversation. You have to have a
Coach.
McDaniel conversation.
got to have a Tyreek Hill, but Tyreek Hill is now being accused of domestic violence again.
Yeah.
How are you going to be able to trade him with that talent level and everything?
He's in his second year, that big extension that he signed.
Yeah. It's just Dolphins are going to have to deal with this team. And Tyreek Hill will be a cancer if you continue. Now, the Chiefs will probably take him back. I saw those rumors this week as well going on there. The Steelers are signing, that safety Peppers that was cut earlier because their safety got hurt. What do you think about the Steelers and Brett Favre? Did you watch any of that game? Oh, Brett Favre. Aaron Rodgers.
You mean Bart Starr?
Did you watch any of that game?
I did.
That was on the TV at the Chili's next to the Cardinals game. 60-yard field goal to win it. Aaron Rodgers looked sharp at the end of that game. Your thoughts on the Steelers?
Well, it just mostly I'm just going to go by what I heard Aaron say. I think he knows that the end is really near and he wants to enjoy this run.
That was going to be my next question. He looks relaxed.
You know, it looks like he's having fun. It looks like he likes his teammates, and sometimes that happens when you see, 14 years ago,
Well,
he thinks he's playing forever.
He's married now,
Yeah.
too, so I mean,
But Brooke asked that, or maybe my brother goes, "Did he get married?" I go, "Yeah, I've heard he either got married to a real person or an idea." I've heard both.
he's really married.
Yeah.
He has a brother-in-law and stuff. He talks about
Oh,
it all the
really?
time. Yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, marriage humbles you a little bit. The older you, and I'm not knocking you if you're old and don't have kids, but your lifestyle is different than people that have kids. Because when you have kids or you have a wife or you have, a serious girlfriend, whatever, your life's different
That's
than when you just live by yourself.
Sebastian Maniscalco, one of my favorite comedians, says that. He goes, all my friends are starting to have babies, and they're like, "Sebastian, you and your wife need to have a baby. You need to have a baby. You need to have a baby." And they go, "Your life will never be the same. It's not about you. It's about them." And Sebastian goes, "Why would I want to do that? I want it to be about me."
Yeah, it's a different thing. And so I think getting married might have changed his perspective a little bit.
Being older, knowing this is his last stop.
But you know what the other thing is for me too is I think having his coach there on the Steelers changes because he ain't gonna put up with Aaron Rodgers. He ain't gonna do it. And they had those conversations before he signed. You're not coming in here and pulling this crap here that you do elsewhere.
You're not going to go into ayahuasca.
You're gonna come in and do it. I think that obviously somebody stood up to him finally, and he agreed to it. Going for the other team, I just want to give a shout out to in the NFL season, the Jaguars. 26-10 victors over the Panthers. Now, look, the Panthers didn't look good. I'm not saying that by any stretch. I have the Jaguars winning that division. Watch out for your Jacksonville Jaguars this year.
Well, it's going to be interesting because obviously Carolina's coming to Arizona. We'll talk about that more as the week goes along. But, are they really that bad? Was it week one? Was it a combination?
They look like they couldn't run an offense.
Are they going to come in here and all of a sudden discover how to score points? And
It's going to be a 45-40 shootout this week. Their offense legitimately looked like they've never lined up before and tried to snap a football. It was just, what are you doing out there? I have a lot of questions about Pensing, but that's a whole nother deal. Now, Packers are the other team that I am high on the Packers, even before the Micah Parsons trade, but even more so now. It's just Jordan Love stays healthy. That Packers team is going to be a force, not just for the division in the playoffs coming up.
well, they're good. Again, I think a lot of people are sleeping on Minnesota. And obviously Detroit put up a stinker on Sunday. They'll be better.
Did you see what the head coach said? Dan Campbell said?
No.
We need to get better in our phases and our coaching phases and everything. Like he realized there were struggles there on the offensive and defensive coordinators what was called and stuff like that. Lions will be fine. They're going to make the playoffs, but they're going to lose some early games here and look like they're struggling at times out there just because of that. They can call the game exactly the same way Ben Johnson did, and it's going to be different.
Well, and last question, would you rather be Arizona with Drew Petzing, or would you rather be Cincinnati with 4 high-priced players and having 7 yards?
I cannot stand Cincinnati's head coach and their coaching staff. I don't like them. I don't think they're good at what they do. I don't think they utilize their players the way they should. I'll put it that way. I've always felt that way against Cincinnati. I don't care how – like, you can lose every game and still look good. And how with Jamar Chase and I forget the other guy off the top of my head right now. T. Higgins and Joe Burrow, how you cannot move a football.
They didn't get 7 yards. They didn't get enough yards for a first down in the second half. But they won.
Because of who they played. I have them finishing third in the division, making the playoffs. That's a colossal mistake. And their defense is atrocious. Their offensive line's atrocious. They're being let down by their ownership. Don't get me wrong, but I've never been impressed with Cincinnati's coaching staff.
And let's just get that out there before we go off the air. The fact that I did pick Minnesota and you picked Chicago.
Throw it up, Kobe.
Oh.
I got it for you.
Oh, I thought maybe you'd have lost that.
I was trying to get out of the
Let me
game.
see here.
I'm going to change that background. It looks too busy. I'm
You
gonna go
lost
back to the
3?
thing. Yeah. Stupid.
Wow.
Hold on. In my defense, 2 of the 3 I lost had the lead with like 5 minutes to go in the games.
I'm looking at that. I'm good.
I'm going to change that background to like a whiteboard or something.
How
I'm
did
trying to
I
get
pick
clever.
the Seahawks? That's ridiculous.
I know. Why did you? Seahawks didn't look good. Their defense looked good, but those Niners, man, if they look that good against the Niners, who are losing guys left and right in that game. I like the Bills and the Ravens. They're going to be vying for the AFC. I'm going to reserve for the Chiefs to be in there because I'm not going to put a nail in their coffin until they actually falter at some point as we go. But the Chiefs, to me, to the AFC, to me, goes through Baltimore and Buffalo, in my opinion. After week 1, that's what I'm looking at. And Jacksonville.
In Cincinnati.
You're going to see me tomorrow with the Jacksonville jersey on. And Trevor Lawrence looked good again. That's all I'm going to say. Let's go, Liam Cohen, whatever his name is. I love his song Wonderwall. Really quick, Robert tagged us as well. And on Jared Goff, he's had 5 different play callers in his career. Under the 3 not named Sean McVay and Ben Johnson. I saw this stat last night. Jared Goff is 0-19-1.
Ooh.
Yeah. Jared Goff, if you remember, even with the Rams, I mean, they shipped him off for a reason, So does he come back down there? He's got nobody to throw to and stuff like that. This is going to be a fun, see as well. And the Robert says, of course, people turn in to see the star. Everybody loves a good comedy. He goes, but I digress. Great show today. Love the back and forth with Coop. Yeah, every Tuesday, Coop. Of course, Mike Sheehan tomorrow, Wednesday. Now Dale's got me paranoid. He's not back. I got to text him today. He's watching. Mike, just shoot me a text and let me know. Then, of course, Lou on Thursday. But it's our schedule here for the football season. It's going to be fun to do. And then maybe Dale sticks around too. We'll see. He gets mad because he gets ganged up on over here. Come on back tomorrow, folks. The main event Wednesday edition. Woo. Go D-back. Your D-back's going to win today?
There. Football season.
Come on back, folks. See you tomorrow. Macomb on Business coming up at 11. See you then.